so that's the end of your review today. But just before we ended, I wanted to talk to you about research. I don't know if you noticed when you were sitting outside in the waiting room, there's lots of posters around the walls on various projects that are going on. Is research anything that you've ever considered taking part in?
I did see the posters, but I've never taken part in research before. What kind of research?
Various types of research go on all of the time, and some could include filling out questionnaires or psychological therapies, trying different drugs. Some might involve having an ECG or a blood test. Some might involve wearing a devices like a pedometer or something like that. So it really depends on what project you're involved with as to what you need to do.
Is there anything that might make me feel worse?
It's very unlikely to make you feel worse. There's lots of rigorous checks that will be going on constantly, and you'll be monitored very closely by the research team, but you'll also be monitored by us. So hopefully nothing would make you feel worse.
And if it did, would there be someone I can contact at night or over the weekend?
Yeah, you'll have the contact details of the team that you're working with, and you'll be able to contact them at any time, I'd imagine.
Okay. And where would I need to go to take part?
That would depend on the project you'll be involved in. It might be that you don't need to do anything, just fill out a form or have a telephone conversation, or it might be that you need to go up to the research department or come here and have an interview. It depends.
Well, I don't drive. How could I get to the hospital?
They can provide taxis if you're unable to drive or get there on public transport, and expenses will always be paid.
Do I get paid for taking part?
And again, it depends on the project you're involved with and how much time of yours it takes. Some projects pay, some don't.
Okay.
So,
well, how can I find out more information?
I can approach the research department and ask for someone to contact you if that's what you'd like. And then they can explain more about the projects that are ongoing and what you'd have to do. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds all right.
So here are some top tips that may help when you're talking to patients about research. Firstly, it's okay to ask. Verbal consent is all that's required. Consent for a specific study is a different process and will be managed by the study team itself. Make clear that participation is completely voluntary and that the individual can withdraw at any time. Participation doesn't affect a person's usual care. Use your clinical judgment as to when is best to ask. This might be towards the end of an appointment. Keep it brief and routine. Your local mental health research workers will go into the details later. Participation in research can offer access to new treatments and contact with specialist staff. Patients are overwhelmingly positive about research and have repeatedly indicated that they wish to be made aware of such opportunities. Most people do have capacity to make decisions about research, but if you are concerned, capacity is always rigorously checked by each individual research team, so you can discuss it with them and the patient isn't committing to anything when talking to you. Finally, many participants feel that they learn more about their condition from taking part in research and are helping future patients, and they very much value these things.